So last week, I did a video about how not to increase your spending when you get a promotion and a raise. But I wanted to do a different video about your bonus because they're a little different. They get taxed at a different rate, it's a one-time payment, you get it in a lump sum, and a bunch of other things. So once again, let's get to it. So the way I'll be doing this video is by showing you the different spending steps that I think you should follow when you get a bonus, and also sharing my own personal experience. So let's start with me. I just got a $3,000 bonus that I got because I got promoted and I made 2 years in the company, and it was great. And as far as spending it, since I've kind of gotten bonuses in the past, I developed what I call the personal finance ladder because it has different steps. So the first step in the ladder is, you guessed it, Uncle Sam. Whether you like it or not, you're gonna have to pay taxes on the bonus that you get, and even worse, your bonus gets taxed at a different rate. Since you don't actually work for your bonus, but they're just an add-on to your normal salary, they're actually taxed at a higher rate because they're called supplemental income. To give you an example, I usually get taxed between 18 and 20%. That is living in Miami where there's no state or city tax, but my bonus was taxed at a flat 30% rate. So starting out, it went from a $3,000 bonus to a $2,100 bonus. So for the rest of the video, I'm not going to consider my bonus a $3,000 bonus, but rather a $2,100, and calculate all percentages from there. The second one, and this is where I might be different from other people, is actually a gift. So if you get a bonus because you started a new job, you got promoted like I did, or it's just an end of the year bonus, you work really hard, so it's time to reward yourself. It's best if you set some money aside and you buy something physical that you remember that you spend your bonus on. Because if you don't do that, what's probably gonna happen is the next time you're at a store and you see a pair of shoes that you wanna get, or you're making these small expenditures that just come up, you're gonna think, hey, I have some extra money in my bank account from that bonus. But in reality, all those small expenditures are gonna add up. So it's best to just set some money aside since the beginning and just make one expenditure that you know you put your money to. I'd say that this gift should be anything between 10 to 20% of your bonus, but it really depends on how big your bonus is. If you get a 10K bonus, you don't really have to go and spend $1,000 and like a gift to yourself. But for me, I set aside $150, which is around 7% of my bonus that I know I'm gonna spend in the future. I've been wanting to get either Air Max 90s or the classic black Ray-Ban sunglasses for a minute now. I just haven't had the chance to go to the store. If you have a recommendation of which one of the two I should get, make sure that you leave it in the comments and I'll check it out. The third one is debt. And here's where a small trade-off might come to play. So the most usual debt for people watching this video is probably college loans. If you already have like a set payment plan that you pay your college debt every single month, putting your money to it once you get a bonus might not be the best idea. And the reason for that is because your college debt maybe has a 3, 4, or even 5%. So think about that for a second. Now, is instead of you putting the money towards that college debt, you go and you invest it in something like the S&P 500, that is estimated to return like a 7% in the long run. So what I want to get to is, for this type of debt that has a small interest rate, you might have to think about the trade-off between paying that or just investing the money and probably earning an even higher rate than what it costs you to pay that back. Now, in the other hand, if you have something like a credit card that you're falling behind on, which usually has a very high interest rate, make sure that you actually use the money from your bonus and pay that back. For my case, I actually don't have any debt. The only debt that I have is my last credit card billing, which I already have the cash set aside that I know I'm gonna pay automatically. So my total allocation of my bonus to the debt was 0%. Now, the fourth one, and perhaps the most important one, is, you guessed it, savings and investing. So usually it's recommended that you try to save or invest around 80 to even 90% of the bonuses that you get. What I did is that I invested $1,500 towards my Roth IRA because that was the last amount that I needed to put in before I reached the 6K limit for 2022. So I did that, which accounts for around 70% of my bonus, and I maxed out my Roth IRA. And then I also set $300 aside that I was gonna save, but around the time that I got my bonus, Amazon had just done a stock split and I've been wanting to get some shares for the longest time. So instead of saving that money in cash, I also invested it, which puts me at around $1,800 that I invested out of my bonus, which comes around to 85% in investing. This is great because it goes even above the 80% recommended, and you know, I feel really good because the majority of my bonus is saved in my bank account and I will enjoy it by the time that I retire. And lastly, I had $150 left, which I kind of did on purpose. And usually what I try to do when I get a bonus is that I try to either go out with my friends and invite a few pictures or invite a few drinks, or go to dinner with my dad like I ended up doing. After 2 years making money, as corny as it sounds, I can say that I get one of the greatest fulfillments from making money by actually spending it with people that I love around me. So that's what I did, and actually, funny enough, we ended up going to this barbecue place that is more on the cheap side, so I didn't spend the entire $150. So for the remainder, I'm actually putting away and saving for a new tripod that I need for making these videos. So all in all, here's a breakdown of how I ended up spending the $2,100 that I got as a bonus. And I'll leave you guys with two main points. First of all, you guessed it, make sure that you save or invest the majority of it. Make sure that you aim for between 80 to 90% of it. But the second point, make sure that you also reward yourself because you work really hard and you deserve it. If you got a bonus recently and you think I missed any points, make sure that you leave it in the comments and I'll definitely check it out. And if you like this video, make sure that you like it, subscribe, because like I always say, we do videos like this every single Wednesday. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.